here. We all talk about music and what music, how it impacts all of us. I have a great person, friend, artist, local celebrity, South Florida, that I want you to know and introduce, and I want him to tell you who he is. But before further ado, I'm going to introduce Marlow Rosado. Let me read a little bit about you, Marlow. You're a little bit of a talent, right? No big deal. The Grammy Award winner multiple times.
2 times over, yeah.
Look at that. And then looking at, this is from Atlas Performance Arts. They point out that you worked with artists like Selena, La Tejana, that we all know, Netflix, right? We know about Larry Harlow.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Olivencia.
Yeah.
Mark Anthony, Olga Tañón, Ricky Martin. Brother, you've done the whole gamut.
And you, how many times have you and I worked together?
But I don't count, man. I don't count.
Yeah, no, you do count. What do you mean you don't count?
But let's talk about what's going on with you, brother. Talk to me. What are you doing? What are you up to?
I've been, look, you see this? I'm looking at this over there on the screen. That means you guys checked me when I walked in, and I'm all good because I'm sitting here with the sticker. Anyway, listen, I've been working in the studio, a lot of studio work, because as you know, we're not able to perform these days, and we're stuck, sort of reinventing some things. Hopefully not too much, because nothing is ever going to replace being on stage with a crowd of people watching you. So we're all crossing our fingers. We're reinventing things as we go along to survive these times, but hoping that these times go away so that we can throw away everything that we've reinvented and get back on the stage, because at the end of the day, that's where a musician wants to be.
So tell me what you're doing. You're cutting some albums, right?
Yeah.
Who you working with now?
So
anybody of notable?
I'm releasing Tito Puente Jr.'s new album. Oddly enough, I started his record before the pandemic.
Okay.
During the pandemic, I was able to open a record company with a gentleman called Angel Carrasco. Angel Carrasco used to be the president at Sony Records.
Uh-huh.
He retired, but he can't stay home. So he reached out to me and told me, hey, listen, I think we can open a record company. There's a lot of new things going on. There's new ways of doing business. I still have all the great contacts. You have the studio. So we endeavored to this, new adventure. We opened the record company.
So what's the name of the record company?
Doral Music.
Everybody hear that? Doral
Music. So, and it's funny, we call it Doral Music because he lives out in Kendall. I live in the north side of Miami, as you know. So we would meet in Doral to talk about things all the time. And so we called it Doral Music. That's the middle point. Now, immediately I told Tito, hey Tito, you're doing this record. What if I give you the opportunity to stop paying for everything?
Uh-huh.
You no longer have to pay for anything. I'll take over from here. And then, that got his ears.
So you're talking about Tito Puente Jr., right?
Tito Puente Jr., yeah.
Dad was a percussionist.
Yes, of course.
Badass in Puerto Rico.
Iconic. Yeah, worldwide.
I remember him when I was a kid. So, Marlo, that brings me to a point. Music is Latin music as a whole. South Florida's always been like a hub for it, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, we saw on Netflix, the Bee Gees. Did you see the
Yes,
episode?
amazing. Yeah.
Awesome.
It was that crazy?
Yeah, brother, that's awesome. So we know that South Florida, certainly with the Latin music, has been impactful across the globe, right? We've got Latin Grammys that are always played here or celebrated down here in South Florida. Let's talk about what the scene is like now. You just talked about it briefly.
Listen,
let's go into that.
Just before COVID hit, Miami is the reigning king of Latin music right now. I don't want to talk bad about other places, but it used to be New York.
This is our turf. We can talk about our turf.
It used to be New York at one point.
Uh-huh.
You still have people. You have major producers out of New York that live in Miami, and they still want to say they're from New York. And every time I have conversations with these guys, like, why don't you go back to New York? Because you would die in New York. And this is before COVID. You die out there. There's nothing. This is where everything is.
So what do we have to do to bring it back?
It never went away. We got to get rid of COVID.
Okay.
It never left. We were at the top. COVID has shut us down. It's not happening in Miami. It's not happening anywhere, right? So just like Nashville, is the capital of country music. It's never gone away. It's just everything is todo está calmadito right now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so all we're doing now is waiting so that we can get back on the horse, right? Miami's got absolutely everything you need to develop anything. You can develop great artists here. We have the beaches, we have the weather, we have the clubs, we have the beautiful people, we have the accessibility to the islands. We got Puerto Rico right down the street. We even got Cuba right there that we can tap into. We got Central America, South America. This is a hub. You know this. This is a hub for so many things. It also provides this vibe. We got a vibe now that we've been building for years.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back when Gloria Estefan was bringing Miami out, and then we had this one guy that came out of nowhere and really put us on the map, which is Pitbull, right?
Yeah,
Pitbull put us on the map, Mr. 305. We owe Pitbull a great deal of debt because he took what we already knew and pretty much said, this is who we are, and now we're showing it to the world. Miami all of a sudden became the place to be.
So if things are shut down, Marlow, where are the artists performing? And how can our viewers tap into some of that?
The only thing that's going on right now as far as performances, and there are live performances here and there, but not at a grand scale anymore. The only thing that's really happening is we're doing a lot of virtual concerts, which, look, they work during these times. And I bring my, I have a recording studio. You've been to it.
Yeah.
And I have a rehearsal hall at the recording studio.
It's an awesome studio. What's the name? Give yourself
Pink Chaos Productions, but it's really me. It's all, Pink Chaos is my company, but everything is based around my name. It's my studio. It's Marlow Studio. That's what it's called. It's I have a rehearsal hall there. So a few times during the pandemic, I brought the guys in with some camera equipment. We performed 7 songs and we sold those concerts to like salsa congresses. And now imagine a salsa congress where the band is on stage and you have 300 couples dancing salsa and showing off their skills. That's why it's a salsa congress. These are salsa schools. All of a sudden, everybody's doing this at home. And the band is playing through your computer. There is just, it just shouldn't even exist, but it's the way we're surviving right now.
So, I've spoken to the Millers here, right? And a quick shout out to Tommy Stiff, who's behind the scenes, always making this show happen. Thank you, Tommy. But spoken to the Millers about, maybe we can jazz this up a little bit. Maybe we can vibe it up and give some entertainment here, provide some music. Would that be possible using technology, right? If everything works out,
you want to bring live musicians,
maybe do a little jam session to get out to the viewers.
Totally doable. And you know what you do with that? You bring in the musicians, and then there's a very nice space, right? And
we have other rooms back here.
And then you broadcast this, and there's so many. Listen, there's one thing COVID has done is it has shown us how much we could do, right? I don't think there is not one idea that anyone can come up with today that the next person should say, we can't do that. Yeah. Now, I think we could do anything right now. I think everything is doable.
I have a blank slate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have a blank slate with all the equipment we need to fill it.
The interesting thing is, look, for me, the arts, I'm passionate about the arts. I don't know how to sing. I can't carry a beat. I don't know how to dance, although I try, I wiggle. And I certainly can't draw. But at the end of the day, I recognize the value and it moves me like it moves everybody else or many other people. But I always think that it's an integral component of our Miami because it provides so much to the economy. So today I was reading Yahoo Finance, and there's an article that they put out. 4 out of 10 people in the country are unable to make ends meet if they encounter an $1,000 expense. If they don't plan for $1,000 expense and something comes up, they get sick, they have to go to the doctor, their car breaks down.
That tells you something, huh?
$1,000 is going to put them in the hole.
That tells you something.
So for me, expanding in the music industry it's entertaining, but it's also providing people jobs. And
Listen,
talk to us about that. What are your thoughts?
I think we got a lot of work to do. I think that this is a funny comparison not a comparison, but something to think about. You know, when you go back and you think of the Baroque period,
Mhm.
when you think of the Baroque period, which is hundreds of years ago, you think of Bach, right?
Okay.
Or George Frederick Handel in the Hallelujah choir. When you think of the Renaissance period, or when you think of the classical period, we mark these periods by art and by music. Mozart, Michelangelo, Beethoven,
Great point.
Tchaikovsky. The world has moved through thousands of years, leaving behind great doctors, great inventors, great politicians, great everything. But none of them mark the time. Nobody knows who lived when, but everybody knows when the art community lived, especially when it's these guys.
Yeah.
We all know Beethoven. We all know Beethoven. And we know that we mark the classical period based on him, on Mozart, on Chopin, all these great guys. Arts is and will always be humans' most important way of expressing and receiving expression. We arts, manipulate our emotions. We create culture based on our art. We know Puerto Rican music, Cuban music, Venezuelan music, Colombian music. Everybody has a culture around their art, their music, their dance, their folklore. And when you take this away from people, you take away the marking of who they are, right? Of being Venezuelan from the 1930s, of being Venezuelan from the 2000s, of being Puerto Rican from the 1980s, we mark our existence on our music, on our art, on our culture. And this pandemic has hit the heart of the art industry the hardest. We can't perform, we can't do anything. Our industry, if you were to scale it, our industry is in the most red because of this pandemic. And it brings a depression to our city, and people can't go out, people can't have a good time, you can't go to happy hour and listen to live music, you can't dance, you can't get close to anyone. So when we are able to see that band on stage again and people on that dance floor dancing without a mask, that's the day we're going to say we beat. In the meantime, we're in a hole, and it's not Miami. That's the beauty of this. It's not Miami. This is worldwide. Yeah. I think Miami will be, however, and I am in love with my city. And I can tell you, I think Miami will be at the front of getting rid of this, because we are Latinos, we're daredevils. We say, let's go do it. And we will come out of this probably first than everybody else, because we're resilient people, right? And Miami is just such a go city that we will not sit back and wait till the very end to come out. We'll come out as soon as they give us the first indication.
We are definitely resilient as a community, right? We have Anglos, we have people from all over the world. I think it's like 180 countries that we have here in South Florida.
It's a hub. It's definitely a hub.
So, Marlow, let's talk about like emerging artists. Anybody that the audience should be on the lookout for?
Oh, I told you I opened the record company. I have a guy named Tony Toyan who I'm producing. He's you'll understand this being Puerto Rican. He's un jibarito de Puerto Rico. Guy. That's a country kid from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's folkloric instrument is el cuatro. It's a guitar with it's a little guitar. It's almost like saying that for a Hawaiian the ukulele, or for Puerto Ricans it's el cuatro. So this is his prime instrument. So I'm producing a record for him that's very urban, very new, but very, very cuatro music oriented. So it's a very unique thing.
Little old school.
But with a complete modern touch.
I love that.
I have a pan flute player, which is not a very common instrument in the United States, but it's very it's a very big instrument in Russia. An amazing pan flute player from Russia. We're about to release his record as well. Uh, Great music, world music. We have I have my two new albums, which is my new salsa album, which is being sung by Frankie Negron, who is a salsa superstar.
Okay.
And then I have a Latin jazz album where I have Chucho Valdez, the Cuban iconic piano player. Uh, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of artists in Miami. There's a lot of there's just so much going on. And I'm telling you, you gave musicians, not you, you general. This pandemic gave musicians too much time to create at home. So when this starts coming out, we are going to see a wave of new music, of new artists, of just new sounds, because everybody's home working, everybody's home creating, writing. Everybody's got a little home setup, little home studio setup. So there's a lot of stuff coming out. There's going to be a lot of stuff out there.
That is awesome, brother. So in the last couple minutes here, Marlo, tell the people, give a message of hope from the music industry, from your perspective, because I think that's so much needed, brother.
Let me ask you, am I talking to Miami or am I talking to...
You're talking to the internet.
Okay, so we're talking to everybody. So I'll tell you this. We're not in this alone. We're in this as a whole. The entire planet is in this.
Mhm.
We're living such crazy times, right? This is what we got. At least people in my industry, in the arts industry, we are the ones that depict where we are, where we've been, and where we're going. And we can't let that die. And even though the good news is that this is in our souls, we are born with this. This is not something we study it to better our craft, but you're born a musician, you're born an artist, you're born with this talent. So this is not going to die in no one. It can't die because it's in us. We're not going to change careers. We're not going to, maybe 1 in 300 people may change their careers during this, but for the most part, it's just sit tight. We're almost over. Keep creating, keep doing what you're doing, and take advantage of this time to realize that, and this is very important. If you're a young musician, you have to realize during these times that you can't be a musician anymore. You should have realized that in order to survive, you have to know how to run Pro Tools. You have to have a little home studio. You have to be creative. You have to know how to produce, because they just took you, the musician, and told you, you got to stay away and you can't do your musician thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what you got to do is your producer thing, your writer thing, your creative thing. So we have to be more complete as a musician in this new day and age.
So will you help me continue this vibe of bringing entertainment to the audience, at least for now, until we can get back out in the public?
Robert, that's a silly question. That's a silly question.
Tell her, answer us.
You asked me this question a few years ago with a great move in your life, right?
That's right. You were very instrumental in me getting elected to the state House of Representatives. Nobody thought we'd get elected, but this is
and you asked me, would you help me? And right now, I will commit as much as I committed back then.
Outstanding.
To helping you with whatever you need.
So we have an incredible part of the South Florida, Miami music industry, local artist, two-time Grammy Award winner. I think there are probably some more in the future there. Kind of like.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. It'd be nice to come out of this whole mess with a Grammy, right?
It would be worth it all.
Yeah, it would.
So everybody, please stay tuned. Marlow Rosado, if they want to get a hold of you, where do they contact
listen,
you?
That's extremely important. Go to Instagram. My name is Marlow Rosado, MarlowRosado at Instagram, Facebook, any platforms that haven't even been invented yet. They are all Marlow Rosado at that platform. Follow me on YouTube, on Instagram. This is important because this is how we promote ourselves now.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate the plug.
Absolutely, brother. So thank you. Look forward to talking to everybody. We'll be here with another guest in a couple minutes. Thank you. Bye.